Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. It's Lamb.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version.
All right, Power, let's go.
You guys are very open about your 12-step recovery, about your work in the community. So I can be open as well. I got over 6 years, and I've seen both of you guys speak at meetings. One when I was real little with my dad when we saw Mr. Trejo, and maybe right before the pandemic hit, I saw Donald at the log cabin.
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys are the real deal. And with this book, and also too with inmate number one, it's such an insight to your life, Senor. How important you think, what's the connection? How important is it for whether it's Chicano kids, Latino, white, black, all the kids, all the young men you meet, whether they're coming in and out of prison, how important is it to have male role models, Senor?
Well, I think role models are really important, but parents have to be careful with who kids are picking as a role model. I just got an award from the Boys and Girls Club, and I remember most of the kids that I knew that went to the Boys and Girls Club didn't get in trouble because they were being watched after school. Most of the kids that played sports, went to Pop Warner, went to Little League, didn't get in trouble because they were doing something other than just hanging out with the older kids on the corner. And so I the guys coming out of prison that start going to a 12-step program have a better chance of staying out than the guys just hanging on the corner. In other words, it's like staying occupied is one of the most important things for a young person or an old person to do, because we have a switch in our mind that's out to get us if we're not careful, especially if you have an addicted personality. That switch will go on, and all of a sudden you find yourself with bad influences around you. So I think the good Lord gave me this platform. When you talk to kids, first you have to get their attention. It's impossible because they don't have any. Second, you got to keep it, which is impossible because they don't have any. Third, you have to show them you're cool, which is if you're 10 years older than them, you lost your cool status, and then you deliver your message. Well, the message isn't heard because of the first three. The good Lord's given me this platform of being an actor. When I walk onto a campus or a juvenile hall or a prison, I've got everybody's attention. Not Danny Trejo, but the guy from Spy Kids, the guy from Heat, the guy from Desperado. If you're Mexican, the guy from Blood In, Blood Out. So I thank God for that platform. And teachers have told me, you know what? These kids are listening. I spoke up in Oxnard, some school, and where they send all the kids like me, the last
alternative school, algo camp,
last ditch effort,
yeah,
and
yeah.
And I said, hey, anybody that the teacher says improves can come down to my restaurant in LA and I'll treat their family. There's about 5 families came down, and
Wow.
they showed me their card, their report card. And it was like I went to the bathroom, I said a prayer. Lord, thank you. Just thank you. Just for giving me that chance to just, how my son got better. Man, it's like it's heavy stuff.
It's heavy. And Robert, the greatest insight that I just didn't know about Senor Trejo is his children. And in this inmate number one, and then the book, it's all about Gilbert. It's all about Daniela. I mean, I almost can't talk because I get so emotional when I read it, because I'm like, that's my family, that's my cousin, because I have a my cousins, either they OD'd, they're in prison, or they made it out with AA, and they're and they've my one cousin that I'm talking about, Mr. Trejo, is a now he's an ex felon, right? He got his contractor's license, which was really hard to do, bro. Really impossible. He's handed it down to his kids. They're all handyman contractors. I mean, but their childhood was just so heavy, like Gilbert's, like Daniela's. I mean, you're amazing, sir. And I don't, I'm not trying to blow up hot air up anyone's butt, but correct.
I mean, it's like, you know what? Anytime I get an applause, I says, "You're not clapping for me. You're clapping for what God's done with me." And that's the way I try to live my life. I know He's watching, and every time one of my friends pass, it's like right now, my best friend, guy that actually got me started in AA, a guy Frank Russo.
Oh,
And I always say that because he told me never to mention his name, but he just passed, So I just got somebody else watching over me, and Bonnie, she just passed, and George. And the older you get, the more people you bury. And it's like, but it's like, I know they're just angels now. And the more faith, faith can move mountains. You know what I mean? Faith can move. Faith is tough to get sober just on faith. And my kids know that. My kids know that. You know what I mean? And my son right now, he's in the Ukraine directing a music video. He did a commercial for Gucci. You know what I mean? So hey, next time you see me, I'll point at my shoes.
Yeah,
Gucci,
Trejo and Gucci. I gotta let me just transition real quick, because from my channel members to people in the stream, they want to know, when are you working with Rodriguez again? Machete in space. Algo machete. ¿Qué pasó?
Please. I want everybody out there to email Robert Rodriguez and tell him, hey, let's do Machete in space, fool.
Just like that.
The perfect time.
Wow.
4, 3, 2, 1.